Well, hey everyone, and welcome to the Happy Homebirth podcast. I cannot believe that I'm actually sitting in front of a microphone right now recording my first episode. And really, when I say that, what I'm trying to say is I can't believe I have a moment of quiet away from my toddler to record this episode. Thank you, Mother, so much. I guess this would be a good time for a formal introduction. My name is Caitlin Fusco, and I am your host of Happy Homebirth. Now, how did I get so lucky as to hold this position, you might be asking? Well, I made it all up, and I'm hoping we can all just pretend that I'm a professional. Really, though, I am a mother. I have a toddler daughter and one little babe on the way. By the time this airs, which is a month from when I'm recording it, it is exactly December 1st right now, I'll be about 17 weeks along, and I'm sure I'll give you some updates along the way if you are interested. But before I was a mother, I was a student midwife. How I fell into midwifery is a story completely in and of itself, and I could talk about it all day, but we'll just start with the relevant stuff. I attended home births with two incredible midwives for the past 2 years, and I saw so many beautiful births. I experienced so many joyous moments, and obviously had a few sleepless nights too. There's a rumor about that I might have almost caught a house on fire with a piece of tissue paper and a poorly placed candle, but there's no one that can verify that. Everyone that can, you all need to be quiet right now. I did decide to put midwifery training on hold when my daughter hit toddlerhood. Apparently, I can't function super well as a mother on days with no sleep, and this child needs my full attention, plus also maybe the full attention of 20 other people. I did know, though, that my adoration for home birth and my desire to educate and encourage other mothers on the subject had to find an outlet eventually. I just had no idea what shape that was going to take. But I do remember several months ago, I decided to update the little, bio box on Facebook. And I remember one of the descriptors I wrote down was home birth advocate. And I honestly was laughing as I put it because I knew that is not a thing. Like, I'm pretty sure I just made that up. But I think it's the perfect description of who I am and what I want to be and what I want to be known for. An advocate for healthy women who would prefer to give birth in the comfort of their own home. Now, when I was apprenticing, I witnessed, the most glorious moments of these women's lives. The struggle, the exhaustion, and then the exhilaration and utter joy of holding their newborns in their arms. I then experienced it for myself, and I was sold all over again. The one thing, though, that I noticed during this time was that while these women were always supported completely by the midwife they worked with, a number of them had families who were from semi-opposed to incredibly opposed to the idea of home birth. They were told it was dangerous, that they were terrible for putting their children knowingly in harm's way. They were making a decision they would surely regret. Definitely not the things you want to be hearing when your body is flowing with pregnancy hormones. Now, of course, that's not the story for everyone. Plenty of families were supportive and completely on board. But when you're in the 1% minority of women who give birth at home, at least in the United States, even with a supportive family, it can sometimes be really difficult to relate to others. And what's worse is the majority of stories about birth that we hear in our culture are not fun, to say the least. They're medicalized, full of intervention, leading, of course, to the distressing outcomes that we see in our maternity care. I feel like rare are the havens that we can find to recharge, that we can be uplifted, and that we can feel the excitement of our upcoming births. Rare are the communities we can connect to and share our triumphs with that can relate and appreciate our stories. I remember reading Ina May's Guide to Childbirth when I found out I was pregnant with my first. And the stories of other women's successes, those were my affirmations. They excited me and energized me for what was to come in my own life. And I found myself reading them whenever I was feeling discouraged. And I heard the same thing from so many other women. There's power in the birth story. There's power in sharing the beauty of our experiences. in celebrating our decisions and encouraging the women around us who want to make similar choices. Now, I'm not an expert and I don't pretend to be. I am a facilitator. I want to grow a community so that no woman has to feel alone, so that we all have a place to come and learn and be empowered. And I ask that you consider sharing your story first and foremost. Bless this community by adding your perspective. And please be active. Please be engaged. The show is new, and I'm sure it's going to be awkward at times in the beginning as I find a rhythm and work out the kinks, but I do ask that you stick with me at least for a little bit and provide feedback. You can email me directly at caitlin@myhappyhomebirth.com. Now, I recognize the fact that Caitlin is spelled a million different ways, so it's KATELYN@myhappyhomebirth.com. And you can email me there whether you'd like to be interviewed or just have some ideas for how things can run more smoothly. I am super open to those ideas. You can also follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Caitlin Fusco. And Instagram, there's no space there. It's just at Caitlin Fusco. Fusco is how you spell my last name. And Twitter at Fusco Caitlin, because at Caitlin Fusco was already taken and I got on the Twitter bandwagon really late. So honestly, at this point, I just can't stress to you the importance of sharing this show if you feel it's of value. Please subscribe on iTunes, give a rating. This is one of the best ways for others to find the show. Share it on your social media and scream it from the mountaintops. If you were so inclined, I would be very, very grateful. If you get through a few episodes and find that the content is of use to you, then there's a Patreon link that you'll be able to find in the show notes. Any donation is incredible and will allow us to spread the word far and wide. It's my prayer that the Lord blesses this community, that it grows and inspires thousands of women, and I ask that you join me. So thank you guys for showing up, and I look forward to connecting with you as we go.